military domination, military despotism. Imperialism smooths the way for the emperor. And that's what you got. When you have a president who's in violation of the NATO Charter, who's in violation of the UN Charter, who's in violation of the War Powers Act, and who's in violation of the U.S. Constitution, where the founders of the Constitution said that you cannot leave this decision of war to only one man, and if you leave it to the president, you no longer have a president, you no longer have a republic, you have an emperor, you have a king. If he can commit a whole nation to war and killing just by his own personal judgment, that's not a democracy. And they said there's got to be a debate, and there's got to be accountability. I remember during the Iraq War, a student said to me, well, that's where you and I differ, you see, because I have faith in the president. He was talking about George Bush. I said, excuse me, you have faith in the president? He said, I trust the president. I have faith in him. I said, what does that mean, you have faith in the president? This isn't religion. I mean, you have faith in him the way my Italian grandma had faith in St. Anthony? Do you have a picture of George Bush on your bureau? You light little candles to him, do you? You trust your president? You mean the way trust meaning you give your destiny, a portion of your destiny to someone unquestioningly, as you might to very close loved ones or close relatives? And even then, check them out once in a while, right? No, democracy isn't about faith. It isn't about trust. It's about distrust. It's about accountability. It's about challenge. It's about debate. It's about exposure. It's about people becoming the active agents of their own lives, wanting to know what's going on. I don't have to trust you. I don't want to trust you. I want to see what's going on. Whose interests do you really represent, my friends? And we hear people say, including some of our progressive friends, our liberal friends, yes, I know the bombings don't work. I'm not supporting those bombings. The bombings are stupid, I know. But we've got to do something. Well, the bombings aren't stupid, they're profoundly immoral. The Serbian army, which is expelling people, by the way, many of those people are fleeing the bombings. If you read those accounts closely, you'll find a lot of these people saying, we're fleeing the bombings. 50,000 Serbs have fled from Kosovo in the last 3 months. Are the Serbs ethnically cleansing themselves? The bombings do work. The bombings are working. They know what they're doing. Just because you don't know what they're doing doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. Of course they know what they're doing. The bombings are achieving what they're supposed to, which is to destroy Yugoslavia, to turn it into a deindustrialized, beggar-poor nation of cheap labor, completely defensive to the interests of capital investors. This is a batterist policy. The batterer is not irrational. The batterer uses violence against his helpless spouse. He uses just a certain amount of level to get a certain response and batters that person down and batters the person down. And that's what this is. It's a battering policy to destroy and smash them down, but smash them and splinter them so badly that they will never rise again and never come back again, even as a viable bourgeois nation, let alone socialist. The old arguments we hear with regard to Vietnam are coming back. Well, we can't just pull out. Oh, yes, we can. We can. We can do it with 2 words. You can pull out with just 2 words. It's called ceasefire, and then another 2 words, NATO disband. And yes, we really do have to do something. Call the White House, call your Congress people, your media, talk back, demonstrate, organize, agitate, educate yourself and others. Let them know how you feel. Don't think they're not interested, my friends. Oh man, are they interested in that? Oh man, do you think they are not watching you all the time? Why do you think guys like me are under surveillance? I mean, I'm not kidding you. when I pick up the phone rings and I pick it up and someone starts talking to me, mimicking in a mocking tone a conversation I just had on the phone 2 hours ago with someone else, then you're moving from surveillance to harassment. But they let me know that I'm under surveillance. But it's not just people who are super active and all. They want to know what the general public is thinking. They never stop thinking about you. When you say, oh, they don't care what we're thinking. Oh, no, they always focus on you because they know they're standing on your shoulders. And if this great mass began to shrug and rumble and all that sort of thing, it gets very wobbly up there. So against the lies... Against the lies and the homicidal violence of this national security aberration, the thin, frail voice of reason and democracy can become a mighty chorus and a strong resistance. I have seen it happen before, and we can make it happen again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
This talk on Yugoslavia is going to be available through People's Video Audio. The audio tape is $5. The videotape will be $10. There's flyers out in the lobby. Michael's going to answer questions. There's 2 microphones right here. And if you want to make a line upstairs there and yell the questions down, we couldn't get a microphone up there. I'm sorry.
I have one quick question. There was a report that I read on the internet about the bombing of the Chinese embassies, that the 3 places that were hit were occupied by Chinese journalists. And my question is in 2 parts. One is that report accurate? And 2, if so, was that accidental?
Is there a question period?
I tell you, I don't know about the Chinese embassy. There are all sorts of theories now going around about, was it really a mistake, or was it this or that? Did the Serbs maybe feed them some misleading intelligence? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
After the last demonstration against the bombing, and you're going to go into this, starting from Victor Steinberg, there must be 1,000 people in this room. And one of the major things that people that want to see this war stop are going, where are the people? Why aren't they out there? Why aren't they organizing, expressing what they really think? And I think we've got to go away from here with ideas to bust through what the media is doing. The sojourner people are going to talking about occupying bridges every Sunday. We've got to be doing a lot more than coming to this. I mean, I think it's really important that he's busting through that there's nothing humanitarian about what this country can do. Because that's how they're, unfortunately there's people with blinders on this country and privileges don't want to face it. But the people in this room want to face it. We've got to get a lot more organized than we are now. We've got to people in the U.S. are going to organize massive demonstrations. This is Seattle. We got a reputation in this to get out there and start really making some waves.
Okay, thanks. Well, tell people specifically, do you have an organization that they should join? Do you have something that you have been doing? Besides scolding your audience, what are you doing?
Well, I think everybody really cares. I just think that the other people that aren't activists like us need to know that the activists in this room are going to do something. I mean, I'm the revolutionary. I want to get into the U.S., but everybody here that hates the atrocities going on and like to expose them. And I know everybody cares in here. I'm not scolding anybody here. I'm just saying,
okay.
Get out there and do something.
Yes.
Hi. I was just wondering if you could explain a little bit more about the use of depleted uranium. I've heard of it used in Iran and down here and out in
Iraq.
And I would like you to know.
Well, in Iraq, Iraq used to have a very prosperous and very good agricultural base. The whole areas that have now they're unusable now because of the depleted uranium. It's put in a shell, and it's I don't know the technology of it. I know there are people in the audience who do know the technology of it. It makes the shell so hard that it could, as the newspaper said, by the way, that's one of the aspects of this war, the media coverage, the almost lush, loving descriptions of the weaponry, you know, and this missile contours the landscape, and it has a $1 million computer on it, and we're supposed to sit there and really get off on this technology of death, you know. It's really macabre. It's Dr. Strangelove crap. It's awful. And the shell being so hard from this depleted uranium, it can cut through.